Is this your first start in the US? Yes. Oh, so you just arrived? Oh, like some days ago? No, I stay.
Hello, YouTube.
Several days. Yeah.
So,
I arrived in
you have a mountain range made of stone.
I arrived in August.
A stone mountain range of 6 mountains. Now, what is 6? 6 is a being. It is when a being is formed alchemically. Hey, how are you? Okay, in that mountain range of a being, you have 6 bodies. On each of those 6 bodies, there are 4 body grids by 3, and there are 6 atmospheric grids by 4.
In the north. So did they, like during World War II?
Stone is a lesson.
Yeah, some people know.
So every stone has to do with a lesson.
That's it.
A lesson is something that holds up over time also. So things that are made out of stone hold up over time. That's why stone is the highest honor. Okay?
So I studied 4 months in Iowa.
Now, the significance of the Giza pyramids is that Giza was built in a time that the whole world was heaven of heavens. All of society was heaven of heavens because everyone spoke alchemy. Excuse me.
Was hot and the track was low, and so in the beginning I
No.
here, and so it was not burning.
This is the thing about alchemy. Alchemy is something that all beings speak. The significance of the pyramids is something.
I have no idea.
It's saying something that all beings speak. I'm at a TikTok right now. He didn't want to let me lecture because they are on the side of the witches. So now I'm going to lecture about the Giza pyramids. And you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to lecture about the Giza pyramids on TikTok. How about that? And then, once I do this lecture, I'm probably going to erase it.
I would have liked to go there, but I didn't have time enough.
So that they cannot save it on YouTube and share it. Alright, so Yellowstone Mountain Range. Now, stone is the highest honor to a human. Why is stone the highest honor? Because it is the most enduring skin of our dimensionality. Okay, in our dimensionality. You know what? YouTube isn't that better. You're so right. I should do this lecture in person. Now they've all pissed me off. Let me get this cookie before midnight. I gotta be fruitarian again. The earth is speaking to me. And I must listen. And I must listen in a way that I can perceive her more. And I have. You can thank Beyonce and Jay-Z and Dale Earnhardt Jr. and his wife and sister for not being able to port from planet to planet. They deserve your hate. They deserve my hate. I'm not a cat. At the end of the day, my hate means something. Well, does something.
During COVID, some doctor,
This cookie is suddenly good.
Where did you go?
A lot of countries. UK, France, Italy, Germany, and the Netherlands, Iceland, Norway.
You went to North
most part
Let me tell you.
All countries.
This right here?
The east part of Europe.
It's good with liquor. I'm not saying it's bad without liquor. But it's good with liquor. It's the spot. And it's vegan.
In France?
Alright.
So you ski there?
No.
Back to my lecture.
At the front desk, they told me that there's a party for New Year.
Sorry, what?
They told me at 10, so in half an hour, there's a party.
Yes.
Beings make beings. So when you look at the stars, or when you think about alchemy, they use a complex. You're looking at a mountain range of 6. each made of 4 body grids. 6 times 4, what is that alchemically? Beings times decisions and crossroads. No. What are you wanting 100? What are you saying $100 for? And thanks for saying Happy New Year, but my New Year actually happens on the Kemet New Year. All right. Now, body grid is by 3. Atmosphere grid is by 4 now. Atmosphere grid is about dimensionalities. Body grids are also about dimensionalities. But with the body on a 6, it's not a dimensionality. It's a body. So a body can be within a dimension. An atmosphere is a dimension, and that's the difference. So you have 4 beings in a dimension and 6 dimensionalities. I know you don't know what that means. You don't have to pretend to yourself. And this isn't arrogance. I teach these things, so I know you can learn. But I'm going to wait to teach you. Now, the Giza complex has something to do with heavens of heavens because John's 3:16 is, remember, John is a being that produces a being and what those beings produce. No, excuse me, that's not right. John means a being that produces a being. Okay? So John is to say a being and what that being produces. And then you have that in 3:16. So you have action and you have action with, okay, you have to think of every first number of the sacred text as an atmosphere. So the atmosphere is going to be 3, the actions. 16 is what is happening within the action. You can call them the angels. Okay, angels are all Qurans. Qurans are all actions. So you have 1 and you have 6. Idea and plus being makes love. So if you have an idea and that idea produces a being, that's because love was put into the idea. And that love put into the idea made that being. You know what? Love added to the idea, excuse me, because you have the 1 and the 6. 1 plus 6. Idea plus love. No. Idea plus a being makes love because love was what was put into the idea in order to make the being. Okay, so everything alchemical is dimensional. So you have that alchemy of dimensions with every idea. So, John 3:16. So you say, what was produced? Okay, so that the way that they interpret that is very wrong. And I will go into that later. But you have 6 atmospheres, okay? That 6 atmospheres is actually 6 zeros. Every 0 is an atmosphere. And then you have 4 times 6. It's 24. Now, 24 can be seen as 12 disciplines. Because did you know that Jesus is on the 24 now? I discovered that a while ago. Those of you who follow alchemy might know what I'm saying. You know what? I'm a little drunk. So, let me make sure that that's correct. Jesus is on the 24. You have the being. If Jesus was on the 14, the being just started. Jesus can be on the 14. But if Jesus was on the 24, that would mean the second tier of atmosphere. Because you get the atmosphere on the 10, and then you go through the atmosphere developing, which gets to the 20. Once the atmosphere developing gets to the 20, then you get it up to the 4, where you have the consciousness where you think, should I keep this going or not? Jesus is on the 24. So that is talking about Jesus. Now, Jesus, not the Jesus that you all know. Because the Jesus that you all know is that dummy that lets Judas Iscariot sell him out and then does a lot of dumb things where he gets killed. And that is not the Jesus that we're supposed to follow, because the real Jesus tells you to be better than him. Because if you read the Gnostics, that is all the Jesus telling you to be better than Jesus. So, Jesus is on the 24. Okay, on the 24, you have the 12 disciplines. Because what Jesus is the 12 disciples. That's what you don't know. Jesus is the 12 disciples. He's not a man. He is the disciplines. He is the disciplines that you do when you do the 12 disciplines. So, those 12 disciplines can create revolution if a revolution is needed, and that is why they turn the tables. For all you who do not know what the Pharisees is, the Pharisees are those things that people do as far as the professionals, the doctors, the lawyers, that kind of thing. That's what Pharisees are talking about. Y'all think they're talking about some religious people who got money, but no. That's all they're talking about is the professionals, the people who still want to do what they want to do, but are willing to do it in a terrible environment. So that is the Pharisees. Okay? So the thing about the Pharisees is the Pharisees are the people who have skills, but they develop those skills and become professionals at that in a terrible environment. And it's what we call the Pharisees now. That's like the Pharaoh. Okay? The Pharaoh is not the king. If you all understood my lectures, the king and the Pharaoh are 2 different things. 2 different things. Although they can be the same thing, because the king is what the people choose to worship. King is always a chosen God. My daddy is a chosen God. I adore my dad. And so there's many other people who are a part of Heaven of Heavens, and they chose him as a chosen God. And I know why, because my daddy is great. But a king is a chosen God. Okay? A pharaoh is why the nation was formed. So it is the collective gods of the nation. It is the reason why they formed the nation in the first place. That is what the Pharaoh is. The Pharaoh's seeds are those who have cultivated that collective godship and become professionals at those things that they are cultivating. So yes, a king is a chosen god, but a pharaoh is the collective chosen god, the collective gods of the nation. So there are two different things, and those of you who've been following the alchemy in my lectures know that. There are two different things. Tell you the truth, I'm drunk now. So I've been lecturing, but I'm kind of drunk. So I might just call it a night and go to bed. The only reason why I got up and started talking to you is because I was being attacked by witchcraft. Then I thought, I'm an alchemist. I was shook. Wisdom came out. So I started talking about wisdom. But I was on TikTok before, and I'm really mad at TikTok because they banned me because I called some people stupid. But if you worshiping cannibals, you're kind of dumb. And so I just called you that. And I will not take back what I said. But not all people are stupid. And then I thought, why not lecture about the user complex on YouTube? But then, is YouTube any better? Is YouTube any better? So, as you all understand, I am celebrating New Year's in the hospital. I don't actually like that. It is terrible, terrible. And I'm a bit suicidal, but I'm trying not to be. Because I hate this so much. I hate this so much. But I'm not going to kill myself. And I'm not allowed to. And I will evolve you. So here we go.
And just a reminder, after 10, my boss is coming by with the New Year's drinks and snacks downstairs.
Okay.
You're welcome. Just a reminder, at 10, my boss is coming with drinks and snacks downstairs.
Okay. Well, we will have drinks. So there's that. Like I was saying. And this is what I was saying on TikTok. Beings make beings. Do you know, one day I was here on YouTube and I was sleepy and I fell asleep with like 50 followers. And then when I woke up, it was 200 people watching me sleep. Matter of fact, it was more than 200 people watching me sleep. I'm so grateful I don't snore, because if I snored, it would have been so embarrassing. But because thankfully I don't snore, I wasn't embarrassed. I just kind of woke up and started talking again. And it was crazy because I fell asleep for like 45 minutes. And I was thinking, people were watching me sleep for like 45 minutes. Okay. Um, beings make beings. That's where I left off. Okay, so every being makes a being. Every being is its own entity. Okay? But it becomes a being. And beings are made out of beings. So when an entity, when there's so many that come together, hey, how are you, Kinetix? They make a being. So one great thing, okay, beings come together, and the more they like each other, the more they stay together. So that's the difference between like metal and skin. Okay, things that are metal like each other more, and they stick together much more than skin does. So when you look at it, metal is earth skin, it's earth parts. Earth is a very conscious, living, gorgeous, very large being comparatively to us, but to those that are like Saturn and Jupiter, Earth is comparatively smaller, but still in the realm of beingdom of those beings. Now, there are beings on Jupiter, Saturn, there are beings on Mars, there are beings on Venus. All planets have beings. Those beings are according to their dimensionality and what is needed on their dimensionality. So they live on those beings. There are beings who are living on beings, and then there are beings who are making them. According to what they are made out of is how much they like each other. So beings who are made out of more durable material, things that stay together more, like each other more than beings that are not made out of durable material. So what does that mean for a human being? Comparable to an earth. An earth lasts longer, lasts for billions of years, and a human lasts for maybe what? Now, as we evolve and we like each other more and we become more dimensional and we stick together much more. Because this is the thing, with age comes wisdom. So as we are living and we are reincarnating and we are becoming more and more reincarnated and learning more and more as we do, we have more wisdom, we like each other more, and we last longer. So at the moment, humans last like maybe 100 years, maybe 124 years, because they've gained some wisdom over time. But because humans are worshiping their oppressors, they don't really last that long. Because you cannot love yourself if you worship your oppressor. If you want to know who your oppressors are, those are your billionaires and your celebrities and your politicians. Those people are your oppressors because they are worshiping the evils. Okay, you cannot love yourself if you love your oppressors. And so most people are only last until about 70 something years old. There are people who can live even in this time of oppression to 124. So what does that say about you? That you only live until 70, some of you. But the more we love ourselves, the more we can last. Because the more our beings stick together. Now, that is what gravity is. Gravity is how much the things that made out of it like each other. Okay? Because things move towards and vibrate with things that they like and away from things that they don't like. So that is gravity. Um, what's the gravity? 9.8 in physics? Is gravity 9.8? Am I correct? Now, what does that say? If it's 9.8, what is it really? We can do that alchemically. So, those of you who know physics, if you know physics, put the gravity constant, on the thing. Y'all don't know physics? Oh, what are y'all doing not knowing physics? Either way, I'll find out later and then I'll just tell you what it is. I think it's 9.8 though. I think it's, remember the first letter is the atmosphere, so the atmosphere would be the realm, the dimensionality, which is completion of level, and the 8 would be the circumcision, which would be uncovering knowledge. So there you go. What was I saying? I did explain dimensionalities on TikTok, so I'm going to do that. Dimensionalities, when it comes to zeros in alchemical math, always starts with the first 0 is where you are. So in every dimensionality, there's going to be zeros. All zeros are summations of atmosphere. The first 0 is always starting off from where we are. And then every 0 after that is an exponent multiplication. Excuse me. I'm probably gonna go to my bed. Hey, whoever you are. What are y'all doing up on New Year's? Celebrating? What are you doing on YouTube? Are you like me? Are you somewhere you don't want to be? But isn't that bad? It's not that the place is bad. The place is all right. But I'd rather be someplace else. I was in my place last year, and I'd rather be there, even if I was by myself, than in this place, in the belly of the beast, in the position that I'm in. It's just saying that I hate most of you. I hate most of you. Truly, I do. I'd much rather be somewhere alone, in my own place. What are you all doing on YouTube? This wasn't even my choice. And I cannot get over it. And not evil. And I'm not over how evil puts us in these positions to where we have to be so uncomfortable in order to do something good. I hate it, and I hate evil. But this did stop me from crying. Oh, a story about that. Who said what happened to my place? I was in a great apartment. I liked it very much. But I am the Harema cat. And something wanted me to move. I don't know what it was, but it would not prevent me from moving. So I left it. And I moved to the belly of the beast, which is DC. I hate it here. And it's not that I hate the people, but this is the belly of the beast. This is the place where a bunch of witchcraft happens because the people who do witchcraft here have political offices. And so the witches thrive here. And unfortunately, I'm the Haremaket confronting the Pharisees. So that led me probably to the belly of the beast. It's probably a question I can already answer, but I just hate that I had to be uncomfortable to answer that. So, because I'm in an uncomfortable position to where I don't have my own apartment at this time, I hate most people. You know what? Yeah. Thanks, last year, for being so understanding. Thank you. But I would really rather, like, there are people here. I'm in a hostel. But I don't want to see people. I want to be in my place, so now I'm drinking alone. Well, I want to drink alone because that's all I really want to do today. I didn't want to see people if I had to be in this situation. It's different if I was like traveling because I wanted to, but this isn't because I wanted to. So all I could think of was I really drink alone. So I went and bought some liquor. I haven't drank like that in 3 years. I haven't been drunk in a long time. And now I'm here drinking. And lecturing about sacred texts because I'm sad. And because when I'm shook, wisdom comes out. Y'all ever heard that saying? When you know, what you're made out of, partially how you know is when you shook. It's what comes out of you when you shook. Have y'all ever heard that? When life shakes you, what comes out of you is what you're made out of. Some people made out of evil. But when life shakes me, I usually start lecturing about alchemy. I know. You know what? I didn't think I hated people. No, I don't hate all people, don't get me wrong. It's some people I genuinely love and love reincarnate and glad we're all going to evolve. But there's some other people I truly hate. And being shook this time made me realize I hate most people. At the moment. They are worshiping some very terrible people, and I cannot like them for that. And for the position that I find myself in. I don't like them at all. I don't like this position. Some people are really terrible. And the people who worship them, what does that say about them? What does that say about them that they worship cannibals?
That's pretty impressive. You got your French going down?
Yeah.
And pedos.
I try.
And serial unalivers. What does that say? What does that say?
Is the close fasting down?
I think so. And they say that 10.
They say 10, huh?
Yeah.
There's this girl in front of me, one of the pretty black. Not to say, but I mean the color tone. You know, I have this thing that I like the tone of blackness. I think she's speaking French. And I always have. Isn't that weird? I mean, that's not weird, but I always have. Too. But I like all tones because we're all hues of man, you know? But there's like a variation of color that I like. It goes in both range because there's a golden color that I like, and then there's a dark color that I like too. And she's one of the darker tones that I really like. The pretty black. I call it pretty black. It's like the color black on skin, but it's so pretty. So what was I saying? And then I like this color of gold on the skin too. It's so pretty. As I was saying. Oh yeah, cannibals. Yes, the cannibals. So what does it say when people worship cannibals? What does it say about them? I can't like them. I can't like them. The shallow pieces of shit. You know? And I think about that. That has to be their God. Their God has to line up with the people who do cannibalism. And I hate them for that. I hate them for it. So that's brought out this New Year. This theme where I'm realizing that most people I don't even like because they worship evil people. And they're, those are their oppressors because those oppressors are keeping them from evolving. And I realized I don't like that. And I don't like them for liking it. And I don't like them for not being smart enough to not like it. So there we are. There I am. And I don't know what to do with that. I don't know what to do with that. I thought I was such a people person. I really did. But the drunker I get and the more it turns into New Year's for y'all, the more I realize there's so many of y'all I don't like. Oh, I don't like y'all. Y'all worship some terrible shit. And that's what I've discovered. Oh my God. Exhausting. Y'all know the word exhausting. So you've been attacked by Satanism in the middle of people who don't know about witchcraft and don't want to learn because they worship Satanism by another name, which is Christianity, Islam, or Judaism. That is exhausting. That is exhausting. And I'm not an exhausted person. I have plenty of energy. I was born with an extreme amount of energy. But the things that I have gone through. No, I'm Gnostic alchemist. Funny you put agnostic in there. But I'm Gnostic alchemist, which is no religion. I speak alchemy and I'm a gnosis. I have the gnosis. You know how exhausting that is around people who worship mermaids? Do you know what mermaids are? You probably don't. Mermaids are under earth. Under earth being. No, under earth is never a being, is it? It's an entity. Under earth entities are terrible beings. How do you know they see cows? They eat plenty of beef. So, you know what I discovered about what people eat? Oh my God. If you really think about this and you start to look at people, it's going to be very different for you. Let me show you. You can tell what people eat by what they look like. I kid you not. Now, realistically, we're not supposed to eat flesh food. That's those animals, those gorgeous animals that they make to help take care of the earth, unless it's kosher. Kosher means it dies by some normal circumstance, like they live long enough or they got hunted by another animal and the animal shared that with you. But when people eat things, they look like the things they ate. Did you know that? I discovered that years ago because Over Earth taught me. And they started showing me people, do you know that people who eat a lot of beef look like cows? And people who eat a lot of pig look like pigs? Oh, if you look at them now, like if you really understand that, you can see it on them. People who look like vegetables are usually lean and healthy looking. But people all look like what they eat. Oh, no, they wouldn't. See, what you don't understand is there is such a thing as mermaids. But they're more dimensional and they are about witchcraft, and that's why y'all don't know. Because y'all don't know about witchcraft, you see. Witchcraft is when people do some very evil, mean things in order to get a flow in the environment. So if you don't know about witchcraft, you don't know that most of your celebrities are witches. They eating people. They eating your children. Well, not your children, hopefully, but a bunch of people's children in order to be celebrities. And they can go into a different dimensionality and become mermaids. And so when they do that dimensionality, they develop tails. And the longer the tail, the longer the more the flow in the environment. And so that's what that's about. It is not about sea cows, believe me. They were having intercourse with some mermaids, but they were some very evil beings. And they did that because they were very evil people. Which you probably have to be to roll around the high seas and murder and rob people on the water like that. Because where can people go? Where can people go? Oh, there are many more. You don't know. Beyonce, Jay-Z, all of them eat human flesh. You think it was only Armie Hammer? That's the only person they told you about. But most of your celebrities eat flesh. Remember the Beatles album cover when they had them baby parts on the album cover? Are those eggs, sir? Oh, yeah. That's what that was about. They were eating human flesh to get famous. Do you ever notice anything about their music? They got more famous than some real musicians. Remember how Barry Gordy said they couldn't play worth of anything? Because they couldn't. They weren't real musicians. But they got famous doing Satanism. And now they're some of the richest people in the world. The ones who survived. And I will post later.